sweet potatoes. The other potato's snazzier cousin, the one you want to invite to a party. I love them. I'm gonna have this for breakfast tomorrow. I saved it already, it's already in a Tupperware. It tastes incredible. It tastes like the best sweet mashed potatoes you've ever had. They're versatile with their ability to go both sweet and savory. Today, we are looking at 5 sweet potato dishes from 5 countries that will hopefully inspire you to think a little differently about the sweet potato. Speaking of things that I'm loving, let's talk about Angry Birds Dream Blast, a fun, casual game that's easy to pick up and enjoy, and also the sponsor of today's episode. Yep, that's me on level 224. I've played it a lot. Angry Birds Dream Blast is a super fun puzzle game where you match 2 or more colors to reach the level's goal. Here, I need to save 54 ice blocks and 35 little bird shrubs. And to do that, I have to match colors to help beat the level. Being in the kitchen can be fun, but can also include a lot of waiting. Alexa, set a 1-hour timer.
1 hour, starting now.
So I love popping into Angry Birds Dream Blast to not only relax, but also play a really fun game. Boom. A big thing about it is that it is free to play and you don't have to watch ads in the game, which is pretty much reason alone to download it. There are thousands of levels. I have barely scratched the surface, so there's always something fun to do when you pop into the game. And there are events and missions to engage in, which always keeps it interesting. Like this month's Easter event, just look at the adorable characters painting eggs. So do give it a try, download Angry Birds Dream Blast and use my QR code to download it or my unique link in the description, and that will give you 200 free coins, which are very useful. With those coins, you can get extra moves to beat levels, which I have definitely taken advantage of. Yay! Scanning my QR code or using the links helps support the channel and all the cooking we do here, so do download it today.
My name's Julie and I live in Seattle, Washington. But I was born in Beijing and I moved to Texas when I was 5 years old. The dish I like to share today is a sweet potato and millet porridge, or Xiaomi Hongshu Zhou in Mandarin. It's a wholesome congee that I associate primarily with breakfast.
I have never heard of millet before. However, on the package it says it is a small, round, yellow, ancient grain native to Africa and Asia with a mild, sweet, corn-like flavor.
Chinese millet has a sticky, almost savory quality, and I actually think that millet congee is wonderful on its own, but it's the addition of sweet potato that really takes it to the next level. That's because it turns a porridge, usually one note and blandly soft, into a study of contrasts. There's a visual contrast in the small yellow grains of the millet and the bright, large orange chunks of the sweet potato. The sweet potato highlights the savoriness of the millet, and the nutty millet brings out the creaminess of the sweet potato. But I have a distinct memory of visiting China again as a teenager and having this porridge again and being blown away by the complexity of the flavor.
Sometimes me hoarding foods is a good thing because these red dates were from a Hong Kong tea that I made, which I will leave a link to in the description, but now I also need them for this recipe.
I also wanted to present this dish as a way to showcase northern Chinese food, because much of Chinese food that's popular abroad are Cantonese, Sichuanese, Shanghainese. North China in particular has a cuisine that's focused on heartier, more cold-tolerant grains like wheat, millet, sorghum, even oats.
So this is a little soupier than I want it to be, so I'm just gonna boil it down for like 10 minutes. But that's the trick, you can just boil out the water and then it'll all be fine.
Sweet potato also entered China, likely via the Philippines in the 16th century, as a crop to combat famine, because it was easy to propagate and nutritious, unlike rice. And so, like millet, sweet potato was viewed as an alternative, humble crop. So if you're looking for a new breakfast option that's full of whole grains, or if the gluey consistency of rice congee isn't really your thing, I hope you try this carby combination instead.
Sweet potato and millet congee, which looks really delicious and smells really nice. The brown sugar on top was definitely the way to go. Yum. Get some sweet potato. Hot, 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 hot. When I have sweet potatoes with brown sugar, it reminds me of the American dish of candied yams, except with this, it's taken on a different flavor palette because of the millet. And this is the first time I've ever had millet. I learned about a new food today. Gotta try one of these red dates in here because I haven't had a red date in a while. Oh, they got really soft. Red dates have a bit of a different flavor than typical dates. They have a different type of fruitiness to them. And that fruitiness is a little bit more savory in a way. And I like that because dates to me can be really sweet. And I love that these came from an old episode. I honestly feel like this is a beautiful breakfast to have, or if you're feeling under the weather, this would also be super comforting. I'm gonna have this for breakfast tomorrow. I saved it already, it's already in a Tupperware. It's the next day and I'm having this dish again. I did add just a little bit of mozzarella cheese and a little bit of yogurt to make it a little bit more savory. Having it savory is really good, but I did add a little bit more brown sugar to kind of even it out. It's really nice day too. I do think that when I originally took it out of the Instapot, there was too much water, but that's a really easy fix. You just boil some of the water out and it'll cook down. I feel like when you're not baking, there's always a fix for something, so I never get too intimidated when things don't turn out exactly as they should the first time around. I still feel a little defeated. Where'd the hole go? Ah! Okay, I don't know what happened. Shoot. I mean, sometimes I do. Leia knows. I just lied.
That's a lie.
Hi Beryl and everyone, I'm Ro Vincent from San Pablo City, Philippines. And the dish that I wanna share with you today is called Kamote Cue. The word Kamote Cue comes from kamote, which is the Filipino word for sweet potato, and cue is derived from barbecue. But Kamote Cue is not grilled.
These are ultimately going to get skewered, so we decided on the thickness like this, because we don't want them to be too thin, but we're also only cooking them lightly fried on each side, so I want to make sure they're not too thick so they cook correctly. Like a Papa Bear, Mama Bear, Baby Bear in the porridge thing. That's where we're at.
Kamote Cue is a fried sweet potato. The cue on the wording is because Kamote Cue is commonly sold skewered on barbecue sticks. They are kinda like mojo fries, but on the sweeter side. Kamote or sweet potato is a fairly common root crop in the country. Its abundant makes it a common street food.
This is definitely something I have never done before. I'm not really sure what is supposed to happen. The sugar is sticking to the potatoes, which is what I want, but it's kind of in globs, which the photos don't look like globs. They look a little thinner, but you know, I never get mad about a glob of brown sugar. Maybe it'll stick to my teeth, I don't know. So that slightly worked. It didn't look exactly like the photo. I want the sugar to be more caramelized and less chunky, so I'm gonna leave the sugar in here a little longer and hopefully that will work. Fingers crossed.
Most of the time, Kamote Cue is sold alongside other street foods in the country, like kwek-kwek, turon, banana cue, and other local street foods.
The sugar burned, so messed it up. I think I said earlier that I don't get too flustered and I can always fix things. Well, I'm flustered. I'm very flustered. It's always the simple looking ones that kill me. I feel like it's the street food ones that are always so hard. So this is take 3.
Kamote Cue is really good to have if you are on the go and need for quick and filling meal. The dish reminds me of my elementary days, where after class, I will buy Kamote Cue as merienda or an afternoon snack before playing with my friends and attending after-school tutorials.
It doesn't look like it's burning and it doesn't smell like it's burning, but I still feel a little defeated. I was like so high-spirited, and then one thing goes wrong. Ugh. Even Leia has taken an interest in what's happening.
I want it to work.
You can eat Kamote Cue any time of the day. It's sweet, it's filling, and just oh so good. Kain tayo.
Well, this was difficult. Turns out the first one was the only one that worked. This third one that I thought was okay, the sugar just comes right off. It did not caramelize, so I'm gonna go with the first one. I mean, it tastes good. A yellow sweet potato definitely tastes different to me than an orange sweet potato. I find them to be not as sweet, so adding the brown sugar to this sweet potato doesn't make it overwhelming. The caramelized brown sugar on this one, it's nice. It's not too crackly on my teeth. I like the way that it crunches. I don't know what I did with this first one to make it work. And while it was happening, I did not think that it was working. I don't know if we're doing this right. But then in retrospect, it does look like the photo. Oopsies. Bit of sugar. I'll eat that. I'm just gonna try the other one to see what it's like. No, it just tastes like a sweet potato. Doesn't have that brown sugariness. I mean, it's like a big French fry, but that's okay. But it's not what we wanted. Sometimes when I do these, I'm so tempted to remove all the mistakes and just show the way that it worked, but if you guys want to try these at home, you'll probably have similar mistakes to me. I don't know what I did wrong, that's the thing. So if you do want to try to do it, I am of no help to you. You can't come to me with any questions because I have no answers, truly. When it works, it tastes really nice. I did it once, and so it's not surprising to me that I failed.
Hi, I'm Mel. I currently live on Kaurna country in South Australia, but was born on Yirrkala country, Queensland, and am Senecas or Torres Strait Islander descendant. The sweet potato dish I want to share with you today is Sop Sop. Sop Sop is a vibrant stew made with local root vegetables such as sweet potatoes, yams, taro, and pumpkin that are slowly stewed in coconut milk and served with white rice or damper. Sop Sop is a savoury dish that is sweet, so it satisfies a lot of different tastes. It is warm and nourishing without being too heavy. There are different Sop Sop recipes found across all the islands. Some include adding onions, white potato, bananas, or fish.
This is not the way to cut a pumpkin. I don't know how to get through it. Oh, there it goes. Brute force. Who else when you were a kid at Halloween used to do those like sensory bowls where I think pumpkin inside was supposed to be guts, cold spaghetti was brains, and peeled grapes were eyeballs.
Traditionally, Sop Sop is made in Kap Mari in the centre of town or a communal outdoor kitchen, and all the vegetables are prepped in a group and then it is shared with everyone. But I simply make it on the stovetop. Everyone sits and eats together and containers are made up and delivered to people who can't be there. I love how it is a way of nurturing an entire community.
Don't forget, when you use coconut cream or coconut milk, you need to shake it, otherwise everything is going to be separated. So shake, shake, senora. Shake your coconut. Shout out to Jim, who sent me a new can opener because my last one was completely broken and I kept using it. So thanks, Jim. Ooh, that's nice.
A lot of food is eaten fresh across the islands, so if you're away it's hard to get authentic local ingredients, but Sop Sop travels so well. The ingredients are accessible and the recipe is versatile. It's a great way to get a taste of the saltwater life from wherever you are in the world, and is a delicious, cheap recipe for meal prepping, uni students and fussy toddlers. Big SO for including Sop Sop today, and I really hope you enjoy sharing your meal together.
This is a dish that comes from a place that I had never heard of, the Torres Strait Islands. This is at the northeastern tip of Australia, right between Papua New Guinea and Australia. I'll show it to you on a map. It's a small group of islands with only 66,000 people as their population. However, I think they have some pretty good food. The smell of the coconut with this is incredible. It tastes incredible. It tastes like the best sweet mashed potatoes you've ever had. There's so many flavors and textures. I'm gonna have it with some rice. Yum. In this dish, we have taro, sweet potato, and pumpkin. Taro I have not worked with that much, but the pumpkin that we worked with is a Japanese pumpkin, which is different from like a Halloween pumpkin that you might be more used to. The flavor of it is a bit more mild. That's all I can say about that. The taro is very starchy. You want to soak it in water before you cook it, and that helps remove some of the starch. There's still a little bit of texture to this. This isn't just straight mash. There's a bit of bitiness into everything. I love that it was cooked in coconut cream and coconut milk because it adds a silkiness to everything. The flavor of sweet potato wins out in this though. This is a sweet potato dish through and through. I also want to jump in and say that I served this to my nephew and he loved it. The artist behind me is Maggie Caton. Her link is in my description. She does illustrations. I picked the B for Beryl, as you can see. She does have a picture book called Blobfish Throws a Party, which I will also link in the description. All the illustrations are so whimsical, and I was excited to share her work with everybody.
Hi Beryl, my name is Paige. I'm originally from Hanoi, Vietnam, but now I have been living in Finland for almost 15 years. Today I would like to share with you a dish named Bánh Khoai or sweet potato pancake. Bánh Khoai is a simple dish made from julienne sweet potato mixed with coconut milk batter and deep fried in hot vegetable oil.
My shredder didn't work. Using my knife didn't work. Third time's the charm. I'm gonna use my food processor with the little holes. Hopefully that works. I'm just not good at julienning with a knife, and I'm not good at using the shredder. So, yeah. It's not perfect. It doesn't look exactly like the picture. The picture, they're a lot longer, but I think it's gonna be fine because it's gonna be in a batter and it'll kind of get mushed together.
Bánh Khoai is a very common dish in the northern of Vietnam because we use a lot of sweet potato in our cuisine.
Alexa, set a 30-minute timer. We mess up everyone else's Alexa at home. Classically for this show, I need one thing and I end up getting a huge amount of it. I only need 75 grams of this, which really is not that much. And now I'm gonna have to figure out what to do with all of this deep fried flour.
Of northern of Vietnam has a decently cold winter, so this dish is popular because it's best served warm, right straight out from the frying pan. So it's very comforting for an afternoon in a cold winter. It's fluffy, it's warm, slightly sweet, and have milky flavor from the coconut milk batter. I think everybody should try this because it is a really simple dish, but it's also very comforting.
No, I shouldn't have flipped it. I'm gonna be honest, street food gets me every time. I find it so difficult to make. The only time I had real success was when I made Quack Quack a while ago. What? This looks amazing. But I did this egg episode where it was just like a total failure. What the heck? Hopefully this one goes better.
It's also very comforting. It's elevate a really simple, humble ingredient. Everybody who enjoy a crunchy bite will enjoy Bánh Khoai. Have a good meal.
I always get really nervous when I'm making street food because I tend to not be able to do it well. Like street food vendors do the same thing again and again, and they are experts in their field. And when I try to do it, I'm a noob, so. But I think these ultimately turned out like the photo, even though I had a couple hiccups along the way. Oh. Crunchy. There's a sweetness to the batter that's really nice. Not like a dessert sweetness, but just like a tickle of sweetness in the back of your mouth. Look at these prawns. That probably is pretty good. I really like it. I wonder if I fried them a little bit too much. Maybe they're not meant to be this crunchy. A little dark. But I still think that they came out really well. I definitely had issues with the size of the potatoes. You were supposed to julienne them, but I don't know how to julienne. That's just facts. This is not gonna like work very well. Which way do I need to cut it? In half and then turn it? So I used the food processor and they didn't look exactly right, but they kind of actually did look right now that I've cooked them. So, c'est la vie, you know? I feel like ultimately this is a street food win for me, which makes me feel a little bit better about myself because I haven't had many wins. So, you know, good for me.
Hi Beryl, my name is Hassana and I am from Nigeria. The dish I want to talk about is called sweet potato porridge or pottage. Sweet potato porridge is a rich and flavorful dish that is made with white specifying white sweet potatoes because white sweet potatoes are usually very sweet, and it's cooked in oil, usually palm oil, with onions, pepper and seasonings. One of the reasons I love this dish is because of the balance of flavors. It is sweet from the potatoes and it is savory and spicy from the seasonings. I'm also a very lazy person, so I love the fact that I can just combine all the ingredients together in one pot, and it's easy to cook and it's also comforting and filling as well.
I have had this palm oil for so long, and this is why it's good for me to hoard ingredients, because sometimes I need them, and now I have it. Head for comparison.
In many Nigerian homes, potatoes are a go-to meal because they are easy to prepare and they are also delicious, and they can also be eaten for breakfast, lunch or dinner. This dish actually reminds me of weekday mornings in my family home. My sisters and I usually make it for my dad as his breakfast before we head to work. And usually there's just that one sibling who is waiting to eat what is left. It's just a matter of who gets there first.
Leia thinks I'm gonna regret this, but I'm just gonna taste it. It has the whole Scotch bonnet pepper in it. Ooh, it's hot. Ah, that burns. Oh, that burns.
So I hope you try this sweet potato porridge because it's delicious, it's comforting, it's easy to make, and the mix of sweet and spicy flavors is actually unique, and it's also a lovely way and a different way to enjoy sweet potatoes.
I'm a little nervous because Scotch bonnet pepper heat is a heat that I'm not that good with. Oh, spicy. There it is. Just all over my tongue. It's not even in my throat yet. I feel like my tongue is going a little numb. The potato is really good. The potato is sweet and combined with... I just need a minute. The potato is nice. Combined with the spice, the potato is nice because it's got a sweetness to it and it's soft but not too soft, so there's still good structural integrity to the potato. I think that it's a really well-balanced dish. If I had rice with this, I think that would help a lot. But it's spicy for me. It's complicated because I want to keep eating it because I do like it, but it is hot. I guess the more I eat it, the less spicy it feels. My mouth though is like salivating so much from the heat. I feel like I have to keep swallowing. Palm oil tastes really different and adds a lot of flavor versus using like an olive oil or a canola oil. It's got like a deeper flavor to it, something that you can really taste in your food. And it's not something that I ever cook with normally, but I cook with it when we make African dishes. And it also adds a really beautiful color. Like this dish, because of the tomatoes and because of the palm oil, is a beautiful red color, and I love that. Eating with your eyes is just as important as eating with your mouth. I hope you liked this episode all about sweet potatoes and got a little bit inspired to try some new dishes at home. The recipes are all in the description. And until next week, I'm leaving you with the mashed potato and the potato episode. Bye.